All I remember is seeing my mother's street taped off and cops everywhere and people were outside. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on?
A family barbecue in Blumenort August 1st turned fatal. Steinbach RCMP and paramedics were called to Crestview Lane around 7:45 and found Dylan Jones with critical injuries. The 27-year-old was shot in his stepfather and mother's home and died.
All I remember is seeing my mother's street taped off and cops everywhere and people were outside. I'm like, oh my God, what's going on?
Dylan's sister, Chanel Jones, was on her way home from the gym and found out through another relative her younger brother had been shot. 43-year-old Corey J. Davis, who Chanel identified as their stepfather, was charged by RCMP the next day with criminal negligence causing death with a firearm.
I don't know how I'm processing it. I'm just so confused and hurt.
The RCMP says Davis was arrested at the home and wasn't hurt. Few other details have been released. Police aren't saying why the criminal negligence charge was laid, leaving Chanel with more questions than answers. She hopes there is justice for her brother.
My niece, my nephew, my son, they call him Uncle Dylan. He's the fun uncle. And everybody loved him. He was just such a good person, a sweet soul, genuine, everything. He did not deserve this.
Chanel says Dylan was close with Davis, who was also charged with multiple firearms offenses. Court records show Davis has previous convictions for aggravated assault in 2015 and assault in 2010 and 2007. Chanel knew Davis spent time in custody but didn't know the extent of his criminal record. She says Dylan, Davis, and her mom had a barbecue before her brother was shot. According to his sister, Dylan moved to Blumenort to get away from struggles with alcohol in Winnipeg and to be closer to family.
What I keep going back on is my brother's supposed to be able to go to my mom's house and feel safe, and it's just sick to think that that's where he was supposed to be safe and feel safe, and that's where it happened.
She says Dylan was a rapper and enjoyed music. He was supposed to have a concert coming up with their brother. Now the family is left planning his funeral. Josh Crabb, CBC News, Blumenort.